Hi, welcome back. Now, we have another repair video. So this machine here, I took this all the way down to Hook in Hampshire. When I turned up, the guy had literally only got an hour's crushing. So I said, well, I might as well hang around and help him do it. Just near the end of the hire, I noticed there was a tiny oil leak. I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but there was a slight wet patch down the bottom on here. Now, I've had this before. It's usually where the grease, which is pumped into the end trunnion of the ram, has melted under the temperatures. Well, the temperatures recently have been quite, cold. So I put it down to the fact there was a hydraulic leak. I got it back to the workshop, and I've put an oscilloscope in there, and I can see a tiny pinhole in the outside of the ram. So today's job is to take the ram out, and I'm going to inspect where the crack is, and with a bit of luck it could just be welded and the ram be put back in. So yeah, let's start the investigation. Right, first thing we've got to do is open this up, slide it forwards. I've chosen a good day to do this because it's absolutely freezing outside, so nice workshop day today. So I've had this before where I've had various leaks in the rams. It's usually the seals that have gone in the end, but it looks like on this occasion it's just a crack. I've normally would send these rams off. I've just spoken to Gary Houston, who's in the workshop next door. And I think I mentioned in the previous video, it's probably worth checking his YouTube channel out. He's master fabricator, welder. He does all kinds of stuff. He's got a little shop where he sells stuff online as well. And, but he seems to think that he'll be able to weld the crack up. I've probably got to drain some of the oil out of it in order for him to do that, which is fair enough. So it's just a question of really inspecting where the crack is, and hope that he can do it really. I have got a spare ram, as you know, sitting over there, so I could in theory just put the other ram in and keep the cracked one for a spare, but because of the time of year, the hires have slowed down, which they normally do for Christmas time. It's a bit of a bonus for me because it gives me a chance to get all the machines back to the workshop, service them all up, check them all over, and do any minor repairs. So this could be left without the ram for an indefinite period of time. It's just as easy for me to do that, and it also gives me a good chance to test if it's been welded that Gary's repair is okay, which I'm sure it will be. I've not had one of his jobs fail yet, so first time of everything. But I don't think this will be an issue. It's always a danger. I've sent rams off before now to have the seals changed. I've put them all back in the machine, and 5 minutes later they're leaking again because they've not done it properly, and that to me is a complete waste of everybody's time, more so mine, because I've got to take the whole thing back out again. As you'll see for this process, it's not particularly an easy job. So we'll open her up first. Right, first job. Now we've got to get these undone here. Once we've undone these, take that off. I can pull the ram forward, lift this plate up. I've got to take this side plate out. Got to knock the top pin out, but then I've got to take pipes off the bottom. Right, let's see if we can get this undone. Last one. A bit awkward to get on this one. Marvellous. Okay, I'll put these somewhere safe. Now what I'm going to do is basically start the machine up and get the ram to go fully forward, which I'll do now. Might take a bit of starting because it's almost gone below zero. We'll see. Right, that was a success. We'll just take this off. Right, you can see. Let's put that back there. So the ram has not, or the jaw rather, has not quite. It's not quite square, and that's basically my fault because I haven't squared up the opening on either side. You have to put more spaces in this side. Oh, I'm sorry, you have to put more spaces in the front on both sides to get this to go back, to enable this to go far enough forward to pop through here. So I'll go around the other side and just crowbar that backwards. That should be enough just to lift it up. With a bit of luck, I should be able to have a look, see where the leak is. There, she's popped up now. Just opens up there. Right. Well, my grease fitting seems to be working well, so that's good news. It has moved slightly. I'll have to adjust that, but I've got to take that off anyway. So right, let's see if we can get a torch in there. Just have a look. Ah, there you go. You can see there. That's where it's coming out from, and you can see that just there. There's a tiny weep hole. So that's actually quite good news. He may well be able to do that on the machine. Yeah, I might wait for Gary to get in, and then if he can get in, have a look, see. That might save me taking the ram out. Right, just had a quick word with Gary. We've wiped off, and it's actually, if you can see, get some torch. There's a hole in the top of the ram, just there. And what that is where they unscrew the end of the ram to put seals in. They've drilled a hole to put a grub screw or something in there to stop it undoing, and that's where it's leaking from. So unfortunately the ram's got to come out and go back up to the hydraulics place and see if they can fix it. That's where we are with that one. Right. Welcome back. It's been a few days, a few weeks actually, since the last update, but for you it's been a few seconds because this video will just link onto the other one. Right, so this was the damaged ram here. Whole new bearing in the end here, that had shattered. They've completely resealed this end, so where the point was leaking here, there's new seals in there. That's fine. In the interim, this has turned up. It's another one. I'd ordered this about 16 weeks ago, completely forgotten. But the situation with this is they've made this base out of a much harder metal. But I have noticed that this is a slightly bigger dimension than the base of that. And I am concerned that that is not going to fit. Now, if it doesn't, it's down to them because they've got the drawings as to what size to make this to. I'm now going to have a go at fitting this into that machine. To try and see whether it does fit, and if it doesn't, it's going to come out and we're going to put this one in. So hopefully we'll see if it fits now. Right, success. Ram is in, as you can see. Fits fairly well. I'm just going to try and put the two bosses on the end here. Hopefully that will all be okay, and this ram will last a lot longer than some of the others have. So I'm going to put the machine back together now. Yeah, and we'll test it up, see if it's working. Right folks, all fitted. Everything put back together. I've just got to steam clean all this area here and in there where we've got some oil, but yeah, I'm satisfied now. That's got a brand new ram in. That really should last a lot longer. I'm going to make a note of the hours and just monitor this now, check it's running. So yeah, that's taken about an hour to put back together. It's slightly longer than I thought. I had a lot of trouble with these side bolts. Some of them didn't line up particularly well, and also had a lot of trouble putting the top pin through the ram because I just could not get the two bosses to line up with the jaw, etc. So it's quite a difficult one-handed. Another pair of hands here, that would have been ideal. But yeah, it's all back together. The other thing that I did in the interim, which I didn't film, I've had problems with this machine tracking, particularly when hot. It doesn't want to track up ramps, and I noticed that these two levers were touching this and not going as far forward as they should. So I've basically straightened this out, and they now go forward, you know, plenty of room there. I'm hoping that that will alleviate that problem. I can identify what else that is. So that's hopefully another problem fixed. And this is due to go out on hire early January for a week. So fingers crossed that that's working. So catch you on the next one. Thanks.